The Rise of the Giant DLC has now gone from alpha to beta, so I don't have to continue to lose all of my progress every single time there's a new update. And in fact, over the past couple days, I've been working very hard to try to get back everything that I've gotten throughout all those alphas. Everything except for this single shield still eludes me. Required to be in 5-cell mode, get all the way to the end of the game with a hunter's grenade, I guess, unless I happen to get absurdly lucky. So I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go for that. Do like a little bit of half getting some progress in the game, grab me the boy's axe and, let's say, Great Owl of War. 2 very powerful new weapons, one might even say a little overpowered as of right now, also tonic for healing. And see if I can cut that. And even if I don't, I also have footage of the very end of the game using almost this exact build, so do a little bit of post-commentary if nothing else. And yes, I would be taking Temporal Distortion if I could, but unfortunately, as of the alpha update that came out before the beta update, that has been taken out of the game. It was too good for this sinful world. Literally, it was just too good. Couldn't have you using it. Oh well, we might see it in another update, but for right now, it's gone. And if you're wondering what this new mirror that was introduced in this latest update, it shows an enemy that has a blueprint that you can still get. For example, the spinner here, which I guess probably has some sort of outfit, because the enemy I'm going to be going for is way at the end of the game. But to start here, the boy's axe is a very, very good weapon. And if I can... This dude, the Ground Shaker, only found in the caverns, and I would really highly suggest bringing a hunter's grenade along. It's not a rare blueprint as far as I know, but it is not one that... I mean, it's still one that you can get in 0-cell mode, so... I think it's worth just kind of making a very quick jaunt over there, grabbing this weapon, because it is very good. So the basics behind it is that you throw it out, hit an enemy, call it back, do a lot of damage. Especially if you have 100% damage inflicted and taken. Probably going to be re-rolling that soon. But yes, it has a pretty decent base damage, it does extra damage when you call it back, and it is an instant cast type of... Whoa, that was very close. And it is an instant cast type of... There. It is an instant cast type of weapon, does a little bit of stunning on there too to stop dudes from attacking you too quickly. And as you can probably see in the bottom left corner, it is something that you can cast instantly, which means that you can use 2 of them at once and just get double the axe action, much like I do with throwing knives or firebrands. Pretty much a lot of different powerful weapons, and this is no exception in that case, where you can just map everything to the same button and suddenly it's like 10 times more powerful. You can get a ridiculous amount of DPS off of this, especially in late game. And I did! Like I said, the other 5-cell blueprint that I got here was using this exact build. And now you can see it. Fire them off almost at the same time. And if you're really feeling ballsy, you can also get... yeah, watch out for that. And if you're really feeling ballsy, you can also get 2 times ammo modifier. Unfortunately, it only does the extra damage when you call back the axes. So you do have to throw out all 4 of them at once. But when you have all 4 axes dealing damage to an enemy, only bosses are the only thing that's going to be able to survive that sort of onslaught. And I think I might actually just switch out you, just because 100% damage taken is too much for me right now, especially if I'm going to be going in here. 5-cell mode still does remain quite difficult, so I want to play this somewhat carefully. I'm probably going to, with how this build works, I don't think you really need to go super crazy because your DPS output and everything is so good. But it still doesn't mean that I won't be taking melees, that I won't be taking some big hits, especially at the very start of the game here before I have a full build going on. And then the other weapon that I'm going to be using here is Great Owl of War, which we'll probably be seeing pretty soon here. It's the Aside from tonic, it's the only other thing that I got unlocked. So close. It's the only other thing that I got unlocked, so I can't imagine that I'm going to be going too long without it. Something of a ceiling turret that follows you around, but unfortunately disappears as soon as you get hit, with like a 30-second cooldown before you can use it again. It's very good just because, well, any sort of turret is very good, but it is very highly reliant on you not getting hit. Ah, here we are. You can also enrage it for a short amount of time if to do even more damage on top of that. It's very good, but as of recently, the place where I've really seen it shine is if you happen to get an invisibility necklace, because it is something that does not break invisibility. And who knows, maybe I'll happen to get that this run. We'll see. It is not something that breaks invisibility, and you can just have it out doing damage while enemies can't even attack you. Which was actually a very important part of that other run that I was talking about, maybe doing a little bit of post-commentary over. And really the reason why I don't want to do that is because it's going to be an extremely boring run if we happen to go for that sort of thing. Additionally, it's also good synergy with the axes just in general, because you can root enemies to the ground, get the owl to attack them a bunch, and then unroot them to kind of finish them off with as much with 2 axes worth of return damage. Each doing actually slightly more than the base damage, unless I got the 100% damage going on their affix. It's good. All of this stuff is good, and being not able to not go fully onto tactics, I mean, obviously that is an option, but brutality is going to get me a lot more health in the long run, and that is, it's a very potent run, and one that I've had more than a few. Like, I would say... Oh, here's another fun thing. I guess I didn't actually do it. I have had multiple owls before. I'm not entirely... like, up to 3 of them. And I'm not entirely sure how I accomplished that, but... it's like replacing an owl with another owl, and then you could summon... I don't know, but... that is another weirdo little glitch here that I'm sure is probably going to be fixed as soon as this episode goes up. Because... sure, Motion Twin is going to be very interested in the fact that having the owl out does not break invisibility from the most overpowered necklace in the entire game. All right. But yeah. I mean, Boy's Axe is fantastic. From what I understand, it's supposed to be a reference to the recent God of War game. I'm really not entirely sure. Haven't played it. When I see the Boy's Axe, first thing I think of is that... I'm going to be playing a good game, boy, from Phantasm, but I'm pretty sure that's not what they were going for. Either way, if you're a boy, this is the axe for you. I highly suggested because it is just that powerful. Of course, if you're a boy, you probably shouldn't be playing this game overall because it's incredibly violent. You should be out, I don't know, doing kick flips on your skateboard and eating Doritos encrusted chicken nuggets and seizing the means of production. I don't know, whatever kids do these days. I'm not entirely sure. Point is, the way I'm going to be using it is going to be the man's axe, or whatever. Also, one of the things that this weapon does have on top, or that is a little bit better than the damage over time build that I like using, is that it's much better for getting blueprints here, because you're not actually going to kill enemies. Once you throw the axe into an enemy, you can have them rooted, which makes it easier to get the actual grenade cast time off. And additionally, you can also just control your damage a little bit better, whereas damage over time, you tend to do a lot more damage than you're thinking if you have them like marked in a wolf trap and also taking poison damage at that time, which sometimes lasts longer than it seems. Yeah, good thing. I really should be trying to root these enemies a little bit more, let my owl work them down, and then you know, just yanking it out for the kill, but... Can I do the double thing again? Nah, it's just not letting me do it. What if I were to have it enraged? Then... I don't know how I got that glitch to happen. It's weird. Alright, alright. Anyway, Owl, as good as it is, it's like, unless you do have that invisibility, let's just call it an exploit, because it's basically an exploit. It is very highly reliant on, like, perfect play. You can't just... Whoa, that was very close. Whoa, dude. You can't just, you know, have it out all the time because it does disappear, and for quite a while as soon as you get hit. But, I mean, if you have this sort of, like, insane DPS, then it will not only work as, like, a bodyguard against some of these flying enemies, you know, which are kind of difficult to hit with the axes because you do have to wait for them to come back to your hand to actually use it again. But, it's like, yeah, he's kind of your bodyguard there. You know, doing all the stuff that you can't sometimes. 150. I think I'm going to switch this out just because it gives me a little bit more brutality as of right now. Number one thing I'm looking for when it comes to this run is something like a throwing the axe gives me extra, like it causes a poison cloud to appear on the enemy or it poisons the enemy. Same thing for the owl here as well, just because I want to get some sort of synergy here. Getting that is very important as far as making sure that I get the maximum amount of damage off of my weapons as possible. Ooh, I might actually be able to hit the 8-minute door and get the 60 kills here. That would be fantastic. Of course, gonna definitely have to be a little bit careful here. Cells obviously only being used for the... Oh boy, this is gonna be a thing. Yep, this is a thing. Cells are obviously only going to be used here for the forge when I get to it, and there goes the owl, unfortunately. But hey, in 30 seconds I'll get him back here. In the meantime, the axe is pretty good just by itself, as you can see. And take him down. Oh, fun. Spike boot would be actually very good, but not quite at this point in time, I'd like to say. I might be missing like a... Okay, I'm going to do a real quick check right under this area, but then I want to try to get both of those doors open, because that's probably my best... Those are super... Well, I guess I am glad that I went down here then. Yeah, those are super powered up weapons that you always get in those doors, and that means basically that those are going to be some of my best chances at getting like some of the synergies that I so desire. We'll see. In the meantime, let's book it out of here so fast. Yeah, get out of here. And come on. Faster, faster, faster. Now, I should probably be going into the prison depths, if I'm being honest here, because that is 2 extra scrolls, as well as... 2 extra scrolls, as well as a lot more opportunity for, you know, money, for upgrades, all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, these runs tend to take a long time, period. So, if I can avoid having them, you know, dragging it out for too long, I think that's only going to be better. Boy's Axe is where the lion's share of my damage is going to be coming from, because I can't get 2 owls, well, yet. Maybe someday. And by maybe someday, I mean at the point where... Sure. I mean at the point where I get to the 5th cell door area and can get rid of this hunter's grenade. Replace it with other stuff. Good enough. Don't want to spend too much money here, but that's fine. That's fine. Alright, still going... I don't know what I want here. Dead Inside has been changed up to be pretty nice at this point. I think I'm going to go with Acceptance just to make sure that I'm not going to get too cursed in these upcoming areas. That's always something of a worry of mine, especially when you're doing commentary like this. It's just too easy to have to make a mistake, and then it's like you got to break everything up, do an entire other run, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know, I never actually mentioned that the outfit I'm wearing, the skin I'm wearing right now, is the fisherman suit, dropped from the, like, ugly worm dudes that you find in the sewer. Or, not the ugly worm dudes, I mean the infected zombie guys that you find in the sewer. Which, I don't know, I went with just because I thought it looked kind of nice. It was one that I hadn't gotten before, up until very recently, so I thought that it would be a nice little change of pace. I did like a purple outfit, pink outfit. Now we're doing a green outfit, just all the colors of the rainbow and all that. No, you don't. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is, let me tell you, I would like to say that it is extremely likely that this axe is going to be changed up to not do this much damage, because this sort of build is absurd. If you are looking for a real good way to cheese a lot of 5-cell mode, I mean, if you're just being even a little careful with this type of build, and obviously I'm not being careful, but that's just because I've been doing so many builds with this as of recently, it's you can get some good 5-cell runs. And I'm not sure if it's been fixed for everything, but it actually does some substantial damage against the... Should leave some of these enemies alive so that I can... Should probably leave some of these enemies alive so I can get some curse relief eventually, but yes, and it also does some pretty decent damage against the final boss, which you may or may not see. Well, I mean, you will see, because I do have that extra footage here. I shouldn't forget about that, but... it'll be a little while. Let's just say that. No, pierce all enemies is great. I'm looking for some form of poison here. Poison's gonna be the optimal one. Bleed would also be nice too, though. Pretty much anything except for fire, I guess. And, alright. A little bit difficult to catch those failed experiments when they're jumping, but if you can do that, it will prevent them from jumping, which is super effective. Those being the tankiest guys around here, they tend to take usually around like 2 volleys or so of... Good. 2 volleys or so of the axes to actually go down. Or a single volley if I did get the double ammo and get the double axes there, but not happening as of just yet. And yes, you can have 2 owls out. I don't remember if I actually mentioned that or not. I just am not doing that due to requiring the... Good. Due to requiring hauling this stupid hunter's grenade around here. But hey, if I can get that shield, that is the last thing I need here, aside from a... a mutation that I'm still missing, that I'm not entirely sure where it is right now. And if I knew, I would have probably already gotten it. Don't really need a food shop just yet, so that's good. Yeah, the boy's axe. Kind of surprising, because there have been a couple axes, 3 axes specifically introduced in this update now, and I didn't really think too much of them because, hey, you know, as cool as axes are and everything, it just kind of felt like a, you know, sort of a weird weapon, but it wasn't until that I realized you could double tap it like I'm doing right now and just get, and the damage output is way higher than I thought it would be. That, it was actually, common commenter Ezergil, who turned me on to this specific build. The guy who originally got me using the guy who originally got me using damage over time builds in the first place. And I guess I really gotta be listening to that dude because he knows what he's talking about, clearly. And aside from that, the owl is really just on the off chance that I happen to get an invisibility necklace, but also, oh boy. An invisibility necklace, but also on the off chance, but also because it is something that does a decent amount of damage and is brutality scaling, which is, you know, difficult to do if you're not working with a bomb sometimes. How are you not dead yet? I like the 75% damage reduction, but the health is, like, I'm getting so much more health out of that. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of, I'm noticing here that I have a lot of tactics coming from my various, well, accoutrements. So, probably gonna need to be changing that up soon, so I'm not, Hello? Not quite what I'm looking for, but is it good enough? Is it really something that I want to change up in any way? No, not really. It's not necessarily better than what I'm working with, so whatever. Get out of here, you. And 60. There we go. Doing surprisingly good in this run thus far. Of course, I never want to be too confident. Overconfident, slow, and insidious, etc., as you like to say in Darkest Dungeon. Man, there's a Darkest Dungeon 2 coming out. I still think that's super crazy because it's just like, the first game is so specific to itself. I don't really know how they can make like a second one. Well, I suppose we'll just wait until Dead Cells 2 comes out. Whoa, that was close. Just wait until Dead Cells 2 comes out and then I can make that decision for myself. Oh, didn't yank the axes back. Yeah, God of War. God of War reference. Because I mean, Kratos says boy a lot. I honestly don't know, but hey, whatever. It got me a super overpowered, ridiculous weapon. What am I gonna say? No, take this back because I haven't played that game yet. All right. Really counters Thornies pretty well. Takes those dudes down easy. Also, I will take this because I want that gold as well as a cell, which I actually already had anyway, but now I have again, as well as a little bit more damage here. Ultimately, what I'm looking for is to maybe get up to, what, 30 or so brutality by the end of this, so closer I can get to that, the better. Although I will give up some stats if that does mean that I get some sort of synergy. If something is only like a ++ rank rather than S rank, and it gives me poisons, enemies, etc., that's what I'm looking for here. I am surprised that I have not found any of the curse chests just yet, because those should be... Sure, whatever. Because those should be around here somewhere. I got at least 2 of them, maybe 3 if one happens to just kind of spawn in the level. And let's just be extra careful here. Ugh. Ah, yeah, and there it was. Got hit anyway. And that lost me my... Should have just been a little bit more careful. That was entirely unnecessary to do that. It's just that shield is still good enough that it blocks any and every... This is going to be interesting. It still blocks any and every one of my axes here. Other axes in the game, if you were wondering, are the shrapnel axe dropped by, what, the demon enemy? You know them, you love them. They're pretty much all over the game now. And what was it? The, okay, nothing else teleporting up here. And the, hemorrhage, which is also another 5-cell specific weapon that I actually just did a stream run of recently, and it was excellent. Like, it was also a surprisingly good weapon. Of course, of the axes, the only one that you actually... Come on, get down here. Oh, this is so annoying. All right. And one more. But yeah, of the axes, only the shrapnel axe is actually, like, used as an axe. Everything else is thrown axe, which is, I guess, kind of makes sense for this one, but why the hemorrhage in that way? I'll need to do, like, another run with that, because I really like that one. Scaled with survival, a little bit slower, but a lot more, like, a lot more stuff going on than just kind of, like, constantly... hit and attack with this. Of course, I do think that that's probably not the intended way that you're supposed to be using this axe. It's just the way I'm using it because the damage happens to be so good. Oh, well, if that's how it's going to work, that's how it's going to work. Who am I to complain? I mean, I just lost Temporal Distortion. Such a good weapon. Taken away in its prime, literally. Ooh, that's the other thing I'm looking for, the other curse chest. Taken away in its prime, and now I have something that can kind of be, you know, looked at as a replacement for that, at least to a certain extent. So I don't want to be too harsh here. What you got? Toxic Cloud when they die? Nah, it's got to be Toxic Cloud when I hit them, because otherwise, you know, not going to be very useful for bosses and all that. It's going to be kind of questionable as to exactly what I want for my other mutation coming up here, but... And alright. Ugh. Probably don't actually need to be this cautious, but... I also really don't want to lose this run. It's going pretty well. And a lot of the runs that I lose in 5-cell mode are mostly due to, like, either way at the beginning before I have a good enough build to actually kill enemies, which happens a lot. Those dudes are pretty hardcore. Also, I don't know if I actually mentioned it, but the owl is dropped by the knife throwers. You know, the invisible dudes that throw poison knives, which are quickly becoming the #1 source of my deaths, at least in early game. And aside from that, the... Nope. I just cut that one out right now. Okay, there we go. And aside from that, looking at the... Oh, great. Well, this is kind of questionable play. Should be fine, though. Yeah. And getting cursed. Getting cursed later on is another very common way that you die in 5-cell mode, because you really want to get as many of these stats as possible, but, you know, that also means that you are going to be taking like 5 or... What, like... Actually, like 6 or 7 curse chests throughout the entire game. 2 here... 3 in... 2 in, like, the Slumbering Sanctuary. 3 if you decide to go to the... Fog Fjord, or... Is it Fog Fjord? God, I can't even remember. Stilt Village. Stilt Village is the actual name of it now. Oh, they change out these things too much. And then 2 more for, like, the sepulcher. A lot of curses going around. And even more if I decide to actually eat any of this food when I am using acceptance. However, enemies are easy enough to take out with this build. It's just... gotta be careful. Gotta be just a little cautious, which is kind of a problem. And, okay. Speaking of which, think I should be good here. Although I am gonna go check out whatever that axe is down there. I know that I was saying that I was going to avoid going into one of the areas just to try to kind of hurry this run up a little bit, and now I'm doing stuff like this, so what do you want? If I can get some sort of synergy enabler, that is just the exact thing that I need to make this run start popping off. Also, despite the fact that I can't get any of the blueprints that I got right now, I can still at least upgrade the forge. I have, what, another 10,000 cells to get into that thing. So it is 100% worth going through here, grabbing as many cells from enemies as possible, if I can. All right. Still 2 tactics. I guess I'll try re-rolling it once. If you are killing every single elite you find, if you're not spending a whole lot of money on healing or anything, you do tend to amass something. Maybe not a ton, but... Hey, inflammable oil and victims burn when they die? That's not too bad. I mean, that's the sort of thing that I'm looking for as far as stuff goes right now. And I guess if I'm going to be using alienation, it might be worth taking extended healing or even necromancy right now. Cover a small amount of HP, and then it also reduces your infection level by, I want to say, 5 each time you kill a boss. So... You know, that's what, 15 infection points throughout the entire run here? However, extended healing will also occasionally give me a little... elites will drop a little item that reduces my malaise too. And that does not count as food as far as alienation goes. So, let's go with necromancy. Just because then if I do take a hit, I can slowly rebuild up the health that I lost there. As always, with this dude, it's going to be more about just trying to avoid getting put in the corner. Getting having baby get put in the corner or something. I don't know, dirty dancing, whatever. Let's just go. But like I said, much like with the damage over time, one of the advantages this has over the damage over time build is that you can kind of choose how your use your damage a little bit more than those type of builds, where usually it tends to just cycle through his phases an awful lot before and just push you in the corner constantly. However, here also I can do a little bit of rooting to the ground, which is useful too. However, try to avoid doing that when he's doing the jump, because that can sort of screw up the pattern and make him stop a lot shorter than you think he's going to. So I'm just going to, whenever I know he's going to be jumping, it's always after he does the sweep, I'm gonna try to avoid throwing an axe at him then. There we go. Perfect fight. There's the infection reduce that I'm looking for, even though I only had 1 point, but, well, and here, since I got this. And shots leave trail of flames. Pretty cool, not good enough. Like I said, burning is the only thing that I wouldn't really want to take here. However, the legendary weapon, you can re-roll a lot more, because the re-rolling is cheaper for this. And it doesn't matter anyway, because that's not what I'm looking for. Well, I got all my potion charges. I got a decent build here. I still have my Hunter's Grenade going on. It's like, nah, it's going pretty all right, I'd like to say. I guess this is usually about the point in time where if you are doing well, you tend to continue doing well. This is... It's very much the hardest early in the game, but again, we'll see as they kind of start to balance some of these skills a little bit more over time, and it becomes maybe a little bit harder just because of that alone. Oh, so many of these knife throwers here. To the point that he's actually getting in the way of me trying to kill that fogger. Also, for whatever reason, the demon statues are super giant in this area. They obviously don't appear that large in... Oh, crap! The really frustrating thing with the knife throwers is that they have been improved now, so that they can actually throw behind themselves. Which they couldn't do before. Once they had decided on a direction, that was it. And basically the way that knife throwers work with how they kind of change that up is that they have now become like the duelists you might remember from the original... The duelists that you might remember from the original Corrupted Edition. Zombies that would attack so quickly that you could not actually roll past them. Very similar sort of concept happening here. Oh, yes, you might have noticed that despite the fact that I did get hit there, I didn't actually take any malaise points. What's up with that? Well, that's a weird glitch with the necromancy. Necromancy reduces my malaise by about, like, what, 5 points or so whenever I beat a boss, but I only had 1 point going into that fight. So I'm currently at negative malaise, so I can take a couple hits without even taking any points of malaise, at least for the time being. Which is goofy, but hey, again, what am I going to do, complain about it? That's crazy. Alright, not going to take that if I'm in an area where I might accidentally end my run just by jumping into spikes. Let's at least wait until I got a teleport around here or something that will make it a little bit more... Well, I don't actually know, because this is... Alright. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Another enemy super countered well by this build is the cannibals, just because they when you root them, they can't do anything. Their entire, like, livelihood is based around jumping around a whole ton, and you completely prevent them from doing any more of that when you throw the axe at them. All right, what do we got? Like I said, I want to kind of wait until I have a little bit clearer area. Well, yeah, sure, that works too. Can still cheese stuff out here, much like, you know, really any turret, so if I got that chance, there's no reason why I wouldn't. Get rid of you here so that I can actually see. Foggers, I feel like more and more over time, they are becoming a higher priority kill for me, just because that means that I can actually see where enemies are, which I never really used to value, but then after getting sniped by arbiters enough times, it became more of a concern of mine. I know. I mean, these guys are already naturally invisible, though, so it's not really doing me any favors just by that. The knife throwers are already naturally invisible, so it's not really doing me any favors with that, but hey, that's fine. Get out of here, and I guess I really don't need to summon this up, do I? Unnecessary at this point, but that's fine. What you got? Come on. Come on. Well, this is going to be interesting. Okay, well, that worked well enough just by itself. Okay, damage reduction, poison heals instead of wounding you. That means that at least when I get hit by a knife thrower, I won't actually take damage, and I might actually heal a little bit. And 75 damage reduction. So the initial hit that I get from those knives will also... I mean, if I wasn't worried about malaise, this could actually be a way that I could heal myself. But it's a sort of a silly notion. But yeah, you can see right there. You can also force enemies to face a specific direction with the way that rooting works and everything like that. Overall, a pretty good combination, and that's just completely ignoring the... And right in there, eh? Okay, come on. Oh well, that's fine. That's fine. This is why I got the healing, I guess. I don't know, maybe. Let's just kind of see how the rest of this goes, I suppose. The problem is that if I do... Well, actually, I do have enough money that if I wanted to, I could actually buy a potion charge, and it might be worth it. I don't know. I didn't have any... Say, didn't happen to have any, like, syringes lying around here, which if I shouldn't have sold those if I did. Get over here. Thankfully, also, the demons are pretty well interrupted by my owl as well, which is good. I need as much of that as I can possibly take. Okay, okay. Getting hit too many times here, but it's not terrible yet. It would also probably be a little bit cheaper to maybe just buy one of you instead of buying a potion charge, but I guess we'll kind of see what it's like over time. Aside from that, my soldier's endurance, not only protecting me from getting a ton of malaise, also is giving me 25% extra health at this point, which is good. Okay, let's just... make sure that I'm not dealing with that. See if I got any... Okay, sure. I'm looking for some easy kills right now for... if I get cursed here, but I'm still a little bit hesitant. I don't know. I'm gonna try it anyway, but if this ends the run, I'm gonna be disappointed not only in myself, but also... I'm gonna feel bad for disappointing you viewers, for wasting your time. Come on, don't... it's not bad, but it's not good enough. Did hit 20 brutality, and this is the last curse chest I should be finding in this area. So if I can get rid of this, then all the better. It doesn't mean that I'm not worried. There we go. And there is a golem. Let's just kind of You know, just a little bit, try to avoid that dude. Low-key, try to avoid him. Good. And by the way, that means that right now I am going to be using a potion charge. Let's be extra careful here. Let's not lose this run in a stupid way right now, because I don't want to heal. I can afford another potion charge, and there is a place to afford that in here, so it's not even all that bad. Get out of here. You two! Ah! Okay. I'm not working with a survival build, so necromancy isn't so good. Okay, this is a legendary item from you. And shouldn't be much of any difficulty to kill this guy, especially with my owl friend working there. Oh, War Javelin. Wow. It does poison the enemy, but it is also, I would like to say, fairly... It's only 175% extra damage. I can do so much better than that. Okay, there's a sepulcher entrance, which is, you know, cool. Great. Get rid of you here, and then watch out for you here. And should have the golem arriving here at any second. Oh, crap. I don't like this at all. Where is he? He's getting killed. That's where he is. You too. I might not be cursed anymore, but I still want to be a little bit careful here. I have to explore the rest of this area just to get that food shop, if nothing else, so that I can get the potion charge before I leave. At least, in general, I would like to say the Sepulcher is a safer place because it doesn't have a bunch of arbiters around, or demons, which are spewing fireballs at all points in time. And a number of reasons. A number of reasons I'd like to say that it's going to be safer just in general, so... Even though I am going to be taking 2 more cursed chests in there, it is going to be a better experience. Okay, just get rid of you right now. One thing that I'm definitely going to have to remember in the future is to use my homunculus rune a lot. Not only does it say counter things like demons pretty easily, but it also will take out arbiters without me needing to be near them. Which should go without saying, gonna become very important a little bit later on. Hey, you wanna come up here? Yeah, thank you, Owl. And there we go. There we go. It is not worth going for any of those cells down there. It's only like 7 cells anyway. And I would get cursed if I took this, so nah. Nah. As soon as I grab... eventually I'm going to be grabbing the dead inside, which will not only give me extra malaise points to be had, but also give me a huge boost in health. And then I won't have to worry too much about being golem punched to death. And thank you. I'm gonna have to watch out for you. And you. Oh, those arbiters are still mighty annoying. Yeah, this is what I would like to call a good experience, or a good time to use this. And... down. Good. Anything else we're looking at? I mean, aside from you. Oh, great. Freaking defenders, I tell you. And okay. Alright, not going too bad, though, but I still really could use some of that good healing coming up here from a food shop. Which I'm kind of surprised that I have not yet found at this point. Here we go. Only took forever. Give me this. Still got almost 60k left. Not too bad. Not too shabby. And just take you out. Yeah, alright, probably gonna have to be a little bit more careful than not at all right now. 30 kills, I'm not even gonna be worried about... Oh, uh-oh. I saw that. That was a box. If I, like... If that went even more slightly wrong than it did, I would have been dead. You know what I mean by that. Look, I just had a near-death experience there. Oh, this thing's so annoying. There. Only took a million years, but I killed him anyway. All right, cool, great, awesome. Let's just get out of here already. Oh, Slumbering Sanctuary, I want to say, is still best for like getting as many scrolls as possible, but that does not mean that it's not stressful to go through. Still, I want to say it's probably a little bit better than going into the other place, the Stilt Village, just because it is less this is mostly a build that works best with single targets, hitting a bunch of dudes at once. I do have my owl to hit a bunch of things, but that doesn't mean that like the huge amount of worms that are going to be getting spawned all the time and everything like that aren't going to still be a bother. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if my decision was good or not, even though I guess it was because I did get through that area and whatever. Probably going to be taking you for the healing eventually. But for right now, I'm just going to be focused entirely on making sure that I don't die to those guys. And also to you. Oh boy. There we go. That'll work. 250 damage. Unfortunately, I am going to lose out on stats. I guess I do gain like a little bit more health though, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's worth it. Ooh, and this is actually one of the first curse chests that I got going on here. One of the nice things to know is that when you get into the sepulcher, there are only 2 potentials for curse chests for the rest of the game at this point, basically. So after this, I can safely get rid of my acceptance and not worry about that at all. However, that does mean that I do have to make sure that I survive these 2 curses. And if I play it right, this shouldn't be too bad at all. But, I mean, you never know, man. Dead Cells is a game where you always got to be on your toes. Can never take a rest at any point in time. As a wise man once said, you snooze, you lose. And that is very much true here. All right. Well, hey, you know, if nothing else, I am also, for once, living up to the Firebird part of my name, so that's cool. Let's just be extra cautious here. Let's just be extra, so incredibly cautious that it's just, like, entirely unnecessary, but I'm doing it anyway. There we go. That'll do it. Okay. And now I just need to not die to these things. Okay, get like a nice big hallway. And yeah, that's perfectly fine. Now that's just a piece of food in there, which is not necessary to get and isn't really going to do much for anything, much for me right now because of the curse. Because of the curses. God! Just get out of town. Hate it. I hate it so much. But anyway, kind of hard to say if I'm going to be able to get to the mythical 30 in brutality that I'm looking for. But there's still plenty of time to be getting a lot more. Still plenty of time to be getting a lot more stats here, I suppose. Only just started this area after all. Oh boy, got the electric whip here. Hey. And there we go. That DPS is nothing to mess around with, is it? Poison heals instead of wounding you. I mean, that is... I still like that a lot. And I'm going to leave these dudes alive just in... well, for when I find the next curse chest, potentially. Or if I just have a couple more stats to get to, like, or a couple more kills to get to 60. Because that's always pretty helpful just alone. Ooh, be careful. And I guess I'm going to go take out that other elite. Like I said, not only is that the big way that you tend to get a lot of stats that you're going to be getting here, it also just gives me a lot more potential for getting Invisible Necklace, which I still would very much enjoy doing if the game so deigns it to be. We'll see. We'll see. Although, really, right now, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pretty good. And I think that I do have a real chance here. It's just, I know that I am starting to get to pretty much when it comes to brutality runs. The thing that you're kind of worried about is that you are going to get, like, hit, you know, big hit or, like, combo hit into oblivion. Which is why I usually like taking revenge if I'm feeling a little bit riskier and don't want to take acceptance with me. Just because you get a huge damage reduction and that makes sure that you can't get comboed to death, but it still can happen, especially with something like a bunch of arbiters around you, bombers, you know, characters that can really gang up on you and hit you a bunch of times at once. 4 cells. Looking for the, what, 1 cell door, I think is the one that will give me the other curse chest that I'm looking for. And that's the other big hurdle in this run right now as far as, like, where I'm going to die. That's the other area that's most likely to kill me, basically, is what I'm saying. And thank you. And just take you out here. Good. It is crazy that neither of the throwing axes that are in this game right now are actually dropped by the axe-throwing dudes. For whatever reason. Because it's like, that's their whole thing. They have been spending all day in and day out, throwing axes at me. And yet somehow it's other, you know, random dudes that don't even use axes in a lot of cases. Oh, there we are. Other random dudes that don't even use axes in a lot of cases that actually drop the throwing axe that you use. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. Let's just say that. So we got poison here. Poison's good. Now, I don't have the synergies now to make it work. However, that's just a, you know, clandestine forge visit away to re-roll into getting that. Oh my god, the amount of enemies here is ridiculous. Or were they all just waiting for me to show up? But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that, you know, the axe throwers, it's like they put in their time. Let them have a throwing axe weapon. You have several at this point. Okay. Let's go. Come on. This is a good potential for a run. This is a good run. This is a good run. This can easily turn into an amazing run if I don't die here, basically is what I'm saying. Oh, all right. And definitely we're going to want to watch out for the knife throwers. Knife throwers, I want to say, also a very good, also something that will kill me. And wow, I've got 60 kills already. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? We're good. So I got the 60 kills. That means we got a super powerful axe coming up here. Oh, I hope I don't die to curse. That would just be literally the worst. Truly, this would be the most cursed of runs at this point. Because this is the last curse chest that I'm going to find in the entire area. And that means that all I got to do is get rid of this. And I'm not home free, but I'm home fries. Let's just go up here. I think I got some enemies I can go fight. Come on, Owly. If there is a time where I need you to be supporting me, it's right now. There it is. Oh. And that's the other place that I'm gonna, like, die immediately. So it's good for that, if nothing else. Whew. This is honestly a run that I almost want to take to the giant, but I also don't want to die in a stupid way. And I don't think I would. It's just the giant does a lot of damage. I guess what I'm saying is that if I was doing this on my own, if this was a run that I was not recording right now, probably would go for that kill. But I think I'm going to go for the timekeeper for right now just because it's going to be a lot more consistent. Like, I'm so much more confident in my ability to beat her easily than the ability to beat the giant, at least as of right now. Maybe someday that will not be the case, but Like, I know I can avoid big hits from her. I don't think I can avoid big hits from the giant. Speaking of which, that dude is right over here, I do believe. Or, actually past the mini-boss fight, which I think is the first time that I've ever seen that. As long as you have the kind of back area unlocked. Or, the back area. As long as you have the, or maybe it's not here. And there was some sort of weird thing that happens with the generation? I honestly don't know. There should be a 2-cell door somewhere around here that leads to the giant fight. So I guess I can't go there anyway, regardless of what I want to do. Sure, whatever, man. I didn't get to the 30 kills that I wanted anyway, so I guess that's totally fine. Whatever. Let's just get out of here. Get out of here before I screw something up. Money. I am going to be re-rolling stuff pretty soon, so sure. Oh, wait, no, it's right over here. It's right over to this area. This is where I would find the giant. And yeah, as long as you have the cavern unlocked, then this shows up. Although there could also be stats that spawn over here. I don't think so, but just checking anyway. Yep. So I think you can spam the comments with no balls, as I am not going to be going for that. I'm going to be going for the fight that I know I can win. As you do. Hey, I want that last blueprint, and this is going to be my best way to do it. Let's go. Number one thing I'm going to be looking for here, an axe that has plus 100% on poisoned sounds great. And yeah, not necessary. Although I suppose it would also be pretty nice if I could grab like the everything instead of having to haul around this hunter's grenade, but well, it's the only way that I'm going to be able to. Nope. Come on. Oh, well. You win some, you lose some. At least I can re-roll you for, let's say, dead inside, definitely. Disengagement would be good. Emergency triage would be good. Masochist. Let's go for full tankiness. I like full tankiness. I was just talking about how good having Vengeance is just for the damage reduction. That will make sure that I'm not getting killed by her shurikens if I'm sort of screwing up the timing on that. Let's go. Timekeeper. And I faced the wrong direction. I mean, it's not only just the melees that I don't want to get hit by, it's also losing my owl buddy. And there it is. Oh, well. Yeah, I mean, in fact, I'm not even taking all that much damage. Although that was because I had, the Vengeance proc there that I didn't take too much damage for. And cool for me totally screwing up all of those dodges. Well, that's why I took Vengeance. Takes so much less damage after you get hit by that sort of thing. And then I get back most of my health anyway, just using that. Let's fight Tectonic. Tonic's good. And obviously the I did get rid of yeah, I forgot about it, but I should have. I mean, Necromancy also would have helped me there if I decided to take that with. Hey, 55%, nice. And no. Yeah, Tonic would have, or not Tonic, Necromancy would have helped me at least get rid of a lot of the terrible amount of melees that I was taking there, but I kept 4 potions still. It's not the worst thing. Let's go. Wow, really, first thing, like one of my least favorite enemies. My least favorite of the new enemies. And then nothing else really here that's going to be worthwhile. Thing I'm looking for right now is getting a 100% poisoned... 100% poisoned axe. And also, yes, as much health as I can get, certainly, too. Not going to be anything I'm going to be turned down anytime soon. Oh, boy. Didn't even give me a second to react there, did you? Oh, well, thankfully, Arbiters do have pretty low health, all things considered. And 15%, it's not good enough. I still like what I'm using right now. Well, at this point, I'm not seeing any of the invisibility necklaces. Last time I was doing a run, I got, what, 3 of them in a single 5-cell run? It was absurd. Maybe the most powerful... Maybe like the most powerful 5-cell run that I've ever had during that one stream the other day. Of course, the audio quality is so terrible that I almost don't really want to show it. And first off, oh, thank you, Owl. Just kind of making sure that a lot of these flying enemies are getting breached enough that I don't have to... Wow. This is a very troublesome area that I'm coming up to, isn't it? Yeah, breaching all these enemies, my Owl here, is something that's going to help me avoid taking a lot of damage. Oh, come on. Seems to be out of range of it, so that'll work. And... Come on, I gotta have enough stats at this point to be able to kill that guy. Yep, and I did. And, alright, I'll take this. This is not completely terrible, because he won't be moving from that spot, because those dudes are programmed to... Come on, are you kidding me? Those dudes are programmed to not be... to not teleport out of their spot, unlike every other enemy in this particular mode, in every way. And... Come on. Oh, yank it. Come on. And one more. There we go. Easy. Definitely going to be going for all 3 of the keys that I can, just because, hey, we are. Owl. Okay, good enough. Whatever. Definitely going to be going for all 3 keys, because I'm going to be trying to get as many stats as possible, all that sort of thing. You know the drill, basically. Cool. One very good roll into the bullets there, which is usually something that does not turn out as well for me, so that's good to know at least. Betting there's... Yeah, I knew you were going to be up there. It's weird that the Owl, for some reason, just shoots a bunch of bolts out of its talons or something. I had somebody say before that they should be... that it should be, like, carrying a repeater or something, just so you can justify having it shoot out all of these bolts everywhere. This is about the point in time that I'm going to do this. Oh, that actually cured all of my melees. I didn't think it would. And then in the meantime, not what I was looking for. Try that one again. Oh, looks like that guy needs a hand. Am I right? Or am I right? I'll show myself out. Anyway, so 26. Still not quite the 30 that I'm looking for as far as absolutely insane amounts of damage goes, but I want to say this should be fine to go up against the Hand of the King here, especially knowing that I have 4 potion charges on top of that. Oh yes, with the terrible looking deer. Right. Anyway, I don't really know how you could go hunting at all around here. There's no actual... It is a very compact island. There's no, like, greenery around here. And anything that you could consider that has been taken up by the sprawling graveyard in the middle of the island. Anywho. Alright, yeah, this is probably the best chance I got to actually get this last blueprint, so... Going to... Come on! I mean, I'm going to take it anyway, just because I can... It's going to be cheaper to reroll alone, but... I'm really hoping that I might have been able to get the poison synergy that I so desired on there. Oh, well, at least one of the things I has the poison synergy. And that's going to be doing... My god. What have I done? Good enough. It's going to be good enough. Let's just say that. Sure. Homunculus Rune doesn't get a whole lot of usage, but it gets enough that I definitely still love having it around here. Did that not kill it? Here, get that guy with a couple more poison bolts. One more. And... ooh. There, apparently you just required one more hit there. You had 1 HP left. Good stuff. Again, if you do want to be checking out this Boys Axe synergy, would highly recommend doing it like right now before Motion Twin totally nerfs this thing to the ground. Because it is ridiculous. Wow. That was close. And Bomber taken down, and... yep, nope. Build status excellent. I almost walked directly into those spikes, which would have been quite the hefty chunk of health. Chunk of health. Oh, dear. Bombers don't have too much health, but still want to be very sure that I'm as far away from that dude as possible. Toxic Cloud when you take damage wouldn't be terrible for the sort of synergies that I'm looking for here, but not good enough. All right, let's go. Yeah, it's still unfortunate that I wasn't able to find that invisibility necklace. I know that, yes, that is one of the most powerful things in the entire game, and you really can't expect to be getting it a whole ton, but at the same time, it would have been fun to show you the cheesiness that you can get up to when you're using the owl with that. I guess technically I could cut in like a little bit of footage of that other very similar run that I was working with before, but I don't know, we still got plenty of time here to potentially see that combo in action. Yep. Then I don't care who I grab onto. I guess it was the demon. Okay. It's like I don't care who I grab onto here as long as I can start thinning the crowd. Yep. I mean, just drawing aggro alone is the major usage that I'm getting out of... come on, you. Is the major usage that I'm getting out of the Homunculus Rune right now. And... whoa, this is kind of a bad position that I put myself in, but if you rush these areas, you tend to get yourself in a place where you are fighting like 5 or 6 enemies at once, bombers rushing in on you. As much as it pains me to admit it, you do in fact have to go a little bit slow in the castle if nowhere else. Take you out, and done. Also, I might be able to get the 60 kills here, which would give me another opportunity for some little bit of adjustment to my build coming up as well. Try again. It's always harrowing to see the little streaks of... okay. Oh, and it hit me anyway. Well, now I played poorly. Because I had 40 there. That would have worked out just... I probably would have been able to get that 60 kills. And a quite powerful... ugh. And a quite powerful weapon to boot on top of that. I guess when enemies have the Homunculus Rune on them, they're actually able to break through doors or something, unlike usual. Get up here, you. There we go. Oh, these bombers are so annoying. And with the amount of melees, the extra melees that I'm able to take due to Dead Inside, I'm not tremendously worried about dying from infection. Although you can't actually die from infection anymore. That was another change that came with this newest update. It just brings you down to 10% health and keeps you there, which, well, on 5-cell mode basically means that you're gonna die in one hit, but technically no. Check him out. Howdy. Again, definitely looking forward to the point where I'm going to finally be able to go full double owl and live up to that Firebird name. Hi. Breach him. Keep breaching him. Although I think that he's probably going to die just... because these guys, if I'm not mistaken, can... yep, right into the spikes. Generally something that doesn't come up a whole ton, but is satisfying when it does. Hi. super goofy. Don't kick me into this. Uh-oh. Now that is definitely a scenario that I do not want to find myself in. That many arbiters and demons up there. An assured way to die quickly. And okay. And wow, there's just so many of the most difficult to deal with enemies around here at one time, isn't it? Wow, come on. How many more of you dudes are gonna be here? All right, good enough. 5 cell. Gotten a lot more practice with it. Still stressful. Still difficult. I ain't gonna be going for speed runs, I guess is what I'm saying anytime soon. And there's that taken care of. And probably gonna have demons coming up here pretty soon. And there we go. Yeah, the weird thing about demons is that it's always kind of questionable if you're gonna be getting the, if you're gonna be getting the, demons that are shooting at you, if you're gonna get demons that are trying to swipe at you. Because they're two different beasts, it feels like. Oh, come on. Maybe I should just leave from this side. I mean, you don't find any more, like, stats or anything in these areas, so all I really need to do is just, you know, find the exit to the castle at this point. I should be totally okay. I got all of the... Come on now, really. A lot easier to deal with these arbiters if you have a shield. Well, this sucks. Again, this is the whole thing that I was talking about, where it's like, why am I rushing? Shouldn't have been rushing. I didn't take too much damage, though, so it wasn't terrible, but... Blah. Blah, I say. Alright, let's take you. Use that. Take you. Do that. And then check out what's up with that axe down there. And sell you, because I need that poison synergy, man. It's a great owl. It's a great everything. Not even as powerful as the one that I was using there. All right, is there like a huge part of the castle that I haven't explored? There might be a stat or two in. Because if I can get it, I should at least try. Just give a quick look over here, see if there's... Oh, that's pretty good. I'm not going to get cursed because I do not have acceptance on anymore. All right. Nope. And also nope. Here, demon, get down here. Yeah, they do 2 volleys of fireballs. Really got to remember that. That was something that screwed me up earlier. One of the embarrassing times that I got hit. Okay, and yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Now, come on. Give me a stat for my trouble here. I went all this way. Certainly probably not going to be able to afford anything here regardless. Yeah, as much as I would like to grab this, ain't going to happen. Also not going to happen. Yeah, it is. Get out of here. And I guess if I grabbed some of the stuff, I could have gotten... Yeah, if I grabbed some of the Moonflower keys, I could have gotten a very small amount of gold. So, not even worth it. Let's go! Got my Hunter's Grenade still in hand. 3 potion charges, which is pretty alright. And I'd like to say what should be a quite good build against the upcoming boss. Provided that I might be able to... Come on. Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. That is what I like to call some absurdly terrible luck. Because that's a pretty common affix to get. Or at least allegedly it should be. Oh, well. Let's go, birdie bird. Oh, yeah. Throne's not destroyed this time. It's goofy. And come on, get into your next phase. How are you not in your next phase yet? Good lord. And careful here. Well, thanks, Revenge, at least. Not really doing me, too good in terms of melees, though. Alright, this is... Surely I can do better than this. Or maybe I can't. Excuse me. Alright. Again, this is the lovely thing that comes with having pre-prepared footage, if nothing else. Like, good lord. There we go. This will be a little bit better. Let's just go for one more potion charge. I don't even care. Honestly, what I really want to do is, at this point, get the new blueprint more than anything else. Okay. Okay. At least it's going a little bit better. Slightly. Oh, come on, into the spikes. Maybe one of the worst hand fights that I've had in quite a while, I'd like to say. Oh, well. Doesn't matter. He's down. And really, isn't that what's important in life? You know, if I had that 30 brutality, it would have been so much easier. I can't like do Resident Evil 4 and sit in the chair. That's disappointing. Let's go. Like I said, I want to get that blueprint. Everything else is secondary. Blueprint, only thing that matters. And I can't even re-roll that anyway. Don't have the money. And first thing I want to do, make sure that I don't summon the owl this time, because that might do too much damage to my my prey here. And I want to get the enemy by itself, and then go in for the kill. Be very careful with the... Okay. Be very careful, be very prudent with the usages of my axe here. There we go. There we are. Kind of surprised that I haven't yet seen the enemy I'm looking for. I mean, it's a shield. I'm sure you can probably guess exactly what the enemy that I am looking for is. You. Dude. Get up here. Now, anyway. Oh, come on. Oh, and for some reason it... What? Now, this is just confusing. Oh, man. Now, let's just kind of be very careful right now. Maybe try to get one of the dudes to teleport up here? Gotta be so careful right now. Oh, great. All right. I don't know if I just somehow gained the ire of multiple of these guys or what, but... Or if it's like that's a... You know, like, hey, oh yeah, that's a standard thing, doing the... There's one of them. Okay. Oh yeah, I guess I just gained the ire of multiple dudes at once somehow. I'm not even sure how, but thanks. Ah! That's it, Thunder Shield. All right, finally, cool, awesome, great. And let's just get out of here right now. Where'd those second dudes even come from? I don't know. And yeah. All right. So, goal right now is just get out of here and forget that somehow multiple of those dudes got summoned at once. I don't even know what the deal with that was. And try not to activate any more elites around here if I possibly can. And, okay. Might be a food shop somewhere around here, which wouldn't be the worst, but I do have that inside, which means not a whole lot of possibilities to heal, regardless of that, unless I manage to somehow get like 200,000 gold and... Ooh, this could be a tonic, though. Nope, no such luck. You know, I will take it just because it's 100% on a poison target, though. And let's go! There we are. Allen key, elevator key, and then just find the wizard tower and get out. So I can turn in my blueprint and call it a day, basically. Here's the wizard tower, so that's good. All right, come on. Of course, these are always kind of just annoying to go... This area is always kind of annoying to go through just by itself. Gotta be real careful. Ah! These things attack so fast! Slammers. Alright, and a Magister of Death. Cool. Come on. I don't want to, but don't really have too much choice. Hey! Okay. And okay. All right, I'll take that 75% damage reduction. I think that also throws me up another 3,000 health. Cool. And, I don't know, man. I'll open this. I don't know if I'm gonna use it, man. Seems like that might be a bad idea to be taking a ton of damage from traps as of right now. Did I... What? I think I accidentally climbed on the wall and went directly up into the nonsense up there. Cool. And, all right. Still got to get my birdie bird back, though. That's going to be priority one. All right. There we go. They even make, like, a little noise when they do that. Like, meh. I love it. Those defenders are... And also there's a legendary item down here. What is it? An assault shield? That's kind of interesting. Just get some of these dudes away from that. Get some of these dudes away from that source of heat, or huge buff source, if I can. All right, good, good. Their dash behind you only gets more irritating. Really, I'm mostly worried about the slammer, so if I can go grab that guy and make sure that I don't have to deal with them, it's only for the better. There we go. Right. Oh, come on. Well, that's good at least. Get rid of some of my infection, even though I can't heal. come on. Oh, come on. Right, really into the freaking... That again? Now, can I just sell this so I can stop dealing with this garbage? Yeah, I think what we're looking at right now is really just me trying to turn this in more than beating the boss. Oh, don't drop down there. Always a fairly large area, fairly involved to get through. But hey, at least I'm through. Yep, that was the thing I said. Well, you know, at least I'm mostly through it now. Those traps are going to do a lot of damage. We're going to do what is known in the business as a lot of damage to me. What business is that? I don't know, the flex tape business. There's a dumb reference. All right. Oh, God. The defender is being as obnoxious as ever. And there. Oh. Slammer up there. I'm at least waiting until my owl is back up, if nothing else. Probably should have used my homunculus rune, I would like to say. Would be a good idea. 3, 2, 1, and good. Come on, I didn't hit the button. Oh, well. Let's just switch to a little bit of post-commentary and finish up this episode. Well, that was disappointing, but you know, easy come, easy go and all that. I was having a pretty good run right up until that Hand of the King fight. And really, I probably should have listened to my own advice and just used the homunculus rune to bait down that slammer instead of running up there myself, but well, there'll be plenty more opportunities to get that Thunder Shield. In the meantime, here is a very similar but much better run that I had working with when I was getting the other Hunter's Grenade blueprint in this area, the Hemorrhage. I mean, it's pretty much the exact same as what I had before, except I have the overpowered invisibility necklace, which helped me, you know, have 3 potion charges by the time I got here, helped me get a whole bunch more stats, everything like that. And I mean, it wasn't until right now that I let this go just to get, what, an extra 2 stats from one of the necklaces that's just kind of littering the scenery, as it were, around here. Well, it's really important that you have some potion charges or an overpowered necklace when you're going into the Astro Lab here, because it is a rough area. I mean, every single one of the dudes in here can deal a lot of damage, like 10,000 hit points in a single strike, after all. Well, and aside from that, you know, now that I'm actually looking at the video length here, I had like a little bit to kind of check out the episode that I recorded. This is nearly an hour and a half long. I feel like I might not, after I get that Thunder Shield blueprint, there's not really too much else to do here. There's no real point in fighting the final boss after you've done it after you've gotten the true ending and any of the blueprints that you can get here. So I might just, like, you know, instead pump her down to 4-cell difficulty for some of the future showcase runs, just so that they're not literally feature-length film sizes. Hey, dude. Don't even get to keep your cells, after all. A little disappointing that I couldn't get a second owl for this fight, but with the ridiculously overpowered axes and nearly 30 brutality that I got right now, it wasn't a big deal anyway. Getting a decent amount of usage out of the stunning abilities on these axes too. Sort of prevent him from doing the dash attack that he likes doing so very often. Oh, well, aside from that, in general, I have enough health to take more than a few hits here from this dude. So that, combined with the huge amount of damage that I'm dealing here, wasn't too bad of a fight at all. Even though, much like the other run that I was doing, it really was about getting Hemorrhage in there, which was successful, so I already pretty much said that this run was good even before I got a win. Not even able to do anything before I'm taking him out. Obviously, my lack of ability to dodge the Collector is really not helping in terms of getting the most out of my Owl, but hey, it's not entirely necessary. The axes alone are doing more than enough damage. There we are. Stun time also makes it so that you can get a decent amount of usage on... a decent amount of time to be able to use a potion charge if necessary. And there's the Owl out again, and it's gone already. Really was not a good time for my bird friend here in this fight. I can dodge a decent amount of these, like, consistently enough, but then suddenly... Yeah, good dodge there. Most of the stuff I can dodge here pretty well. It's just, well, sometimes it doesn't work out too well. And those times tend to be around the point when I was trying to get my bird friend back out. I do hope that they add a few more, like a summonable guys, summonable, like a familiars or something like that into the game, because I know that that has actually been something in the game for a very long time, but it wasn't until now that one has actually been introduced here. And I really like the concept, and I really like just having somebody following you around helping you out. Obviously, mobile turret just alone is worth it, but also I get a bird hanging around me. That's cool. It's really not too difficult to dodge that. You just go left, right, left, right, left, right, but I'm still screwing it up anyway. Anyway, let's get that bird out here and get some real use, and he's already gone. I'm not the best at this fight now, am I? Left, right, left, right, left, right. Because if you are, like, climbing on the wall or, like, jumping over the Collector, he will kind of stagger his dashes to be able to hit you. So, you gotta be a little careful. Oh, come on. Obviously, probably don't want to go into the spikes there. Not that it really matters, because this is another point in time when I'm getting a lot of use out of... Oh, there's a bird back. Because at this point in time, I was getting a lot of use out of the Vengeance just to be able to... And bird's gone again. Just to be able to not take too much damage. All right. With the Panacea now used, you can see I'm doing so much more damage, which is how it's supposed to be, but apparently it wasn't really working with range weapons, at least up until this point. But now, there you go. Real damage and fight's already over.